7:12. 7:12. All right, first thing you're gonna do is approve those minutes, Katie's minutes. Everybody get a look at them?
Yeah, sorry, they are just being seen for the first time, so kept them short, sweet, for you.
Motion to approve,
Yeah, motion to approve.
need a second.
Anybody can
Second.
second that? All right, all those in favor of approving the meeting minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi,
Okay, victory. Here we go, town project updates. right, we can start.
Derek had a question. I'll let you answer
I'm
it.
sure it's gonna be a good one.
Wait, which question? I had a bunch.
Go ahead.
Oh, there's a lot.
Wait, I'm sorry, which? Are you talking about the services?
The bid statements at town meeting, I don't know if you followed up on that.
Dude, hey, I don't say. I don't know what to do about that at all, because. I almost feel like we're gonna rewind the tape and be like, all right, we're going concrete. It's easy, but we're not doing asphalt, we're going concrete. You told them it was concrete, that's what you voted on. I don't know what to say. I actually don't have an answer. It blew me away. There was no, it's the exact opposite of what we've been told the entire time through. It's an issue. So,
I didn't know if it was gonna delay anything, hold anything up, or if that's part of the bidding process now.
I'm sure it's part of the bidding process now, you know, and it's the situation of like, all right, what do we get approved for? This is what, we got these bids didn't meet what we had for cash, so we have to go a different route. That's, you know, it's kind of something that happened when we were doing the basketball course, similar situation. I'm not sure who the vendors would be, or the individuals that would actually do the work. Or what even the RFP looks like, again, because it's coming out of procurement, it's coming out of Michelle. So I don't know how it's gonna be worded or that. So I'm not sure. Okay, I don't have an answer.
Sorry to raise a question.
No, it's a great question.
I think that, maybe Tim, you and I should, at least before our next meeting, get a better update from Michelle.
Just actual clarification. Well, I mean, I'd asked, one of the previous, if you look at the meeting minutes from 2 months ago, one of the things that Julie had asked was, can we get a breakdown of the actual individual components of the projects so that you can see? For example, I think Julie, you were asking about Deer Hill and the fact of like, okay, if they're couching it as, $3 million for 20 feet, is there a way that we can look at some of the other components of the projects and say like, well, in the same vein, what about this particular part of it and the fact that you're paying this for this part? And I never got an answer on what I don't know that they know that. I think what Activitas had just kind of quoted this is what the project generally costs, like the individual pieces of it of like, oh, the land prep. They don't have those numbers until they go and they actually engage somebody to do the work. So I think that's Activitas's game is, look, you've seen this, 25, 50 times, whatever it is, and this is what generally happens. So that's where they come up with their ballpark estimates.
Is that Activitas local?
They're in Needham, Newton, Wellesley, somewhere out there, right? A little Metro West somewhere. Yeah.
Their numbers are from local subject.
Yes, yeah, so they like you think that they have, it's not, when they're not basing it on like, we got this commission, it's local. So they have a general idea, I would say. But again, no response. I didn't get a response to that question. So, a direct question of, hey, is this concrete or asphalt? You told special town meeting that it was concrete. What is it? And since you told them concrete, are you gonna bid both? And ask for prices for each and then come back and be like, look, as we expected, concrete is $500,000 more than we thought. So we're going with the asphalt. And then, and maybe that's I don't even know who, I don't know, I guess it would have to be us, we have to communicate that to the public. The tennis coach specifically asked the question. So we'd have to probably contact him off the top and say, look, this is what it is. Which just puts, more work on his plate to upkeep and having fix cracks or report cracks and get them, repaired as they form, I guess.
Well, like you said, nobody can do anything until they understand what the costs are.
Right, there's no, right, I would say we have to get, actual quotes from, from. What do you want to call, landscape architects or whatever, that are gonna pull it up.
I think I shared, I think I'm such a both doing courts too right now. And they're knowing for concrete, but there's not a lot, there are flat areas. So they might not require any retaining wall work or, I mean, that fence is 50 years old, especially the first two courts.
Yeah.
And then obviously the drainage, making sure that's good, but
Well, also, I spoke with the DPW recently and they were talking about wanting to be able to pull a truck in there too,
Yeah.
so that's probably part of the plan, I would hope. And
I made that fence gate as big as I could, but I couldn't make it any bigger.
Yeah, no, that's fair, but I know they want it even bigger.
Yeah,
And I see them out there every day now trying to deal with the leaves, so I understand why.
I guess the other thing, my concern is I heard July 1 for the lacrosse ball and we really can't. I'm hoping they change that to September 1 because we can't have a construction project.
Kids
with
are
children
all the time.
right there, and then, yeah, the other piece is Beechwood. Are we gonna tie in the basketball, which we have money for, with the playground?
See, they're two totally different projects.
Yeah.
It's, I get it, you don't put the disruption, it would make sense if we wanted to do it at the same time, but I don't think one should wait for the other, I think it should be.
Yeah.
We've had the money for 18 months.
Yeah.
For,
Okay.
for basketball.
Is there some timing on those things?
No. No, still waiting to hear, again, so the way this works is, we get approval for various, we hear from the public, we come up with our own ideas for projects. We vet them here, kind of come up with, all right, yeah, that sounds great. Then we say, all right, how are we gonna pay for this? Well, we may have to go to, CPC, or maybe we can ask, the capital budget for it to, put it in the budget. That's less likely because every year we have to turn in a 10-year capital budget plan to Michelle, and they kind of look at this, kind of craft it for like, okay, these ones are gonna go first for next May. These ones will come following special, et cetera, they kind of prioritize. But once that happens, and let's say, okay, great, it's been approved. Well, it's now completely on our hands, and it goes to the town, they procure the services of the engineer, designer, whatever it might be. So they do all that work, so we're kind of left with, hey, where are we? Hey, where are we?
So they're not working towards any time limits, right? Nothing they shared. They came, someone in open space asked them. just didn't they?
So, Tim, do you want to, maybe after the new year, before our January meeting or 11th meeting, do you want to, maybe that day, if you have time, we'll sit down with Michelle, that way we can
Yeah, have fresh information, yeah.
have a pulse. But by then, they should know too, so.
Yeah, you would hope, right? Agreed. What else on top of it?
It's a big game all the time.
We're
That's
gonna
it,
get,
right?
we're gonna
All
get
we do
involved
is-
at all with
We're shipping
what's
up
going
to the high school.
town hall. And to introduce any of this. You guys see the email I sent you?
Yeah.
See I CC'd you on this email, did you see it?
Sorry.
It's no great shake, sorry.
So is that like a real thing?
Supposedly, as Jilly Tribbiani would say, says the teacher. What the hell is this
I was
guy?
like, I'll let it
Isn't
go.
this guy a tutor? What's wrong with him? Imminently, the building inspector is going to condemn town hall. Reportedly. I have a meeting tomorrow with the emergency management group in my other capacity as being the head of the CERT team, where there's this continuity of government plan they kind of add to and look at over the years in case of any disasters. I'm sure it became a big deal after 9/11. Through the pandemic, they referred back to it, and added to it, what have you. And so the story, and again, I haven't gotten straight word from anybody about this. What the story is, they're at least considering it, because considering condemning town hall and having to move all of the offices elsewhere to other town buildings, other town space that the town patrols. That includes the rec center and possibly Sawyer Street, the Sawyer Street building, upstairs, downstairs. Parts of, portions of, pieces of, maybe all of these places. from this department going here, this department goes here, this goes here. I don't like, part of me says, oh, this is a bluff. That they're just gonna get people, try to get people to like say, oh, no, that's terrible, we have to do something. And like force people's hand. The other part of me says, it's a real deal, and like until we have a concrete plan, this is what we have to swallow. I don't know where that is. And so this meeting tomorrow, I don't know that I'm gonna get any clarification out of that. I think it's just more along the lines of, if this happens, this is what we need to plan for. If this happens, we have to be ready for this. That's what I think this meeting tomorrow is. Because I don't know that the town manager's involved. I don't think he's involved with this. I think so there's no, definitive, yes, by January 1, the town hall will be unlivable, workable, habitable, and we need to be out. I don't know that. I don't know that that's part of it. But that's what's been floated in the last X weeks. So it's something what that email essentially said was, hey, we just wanna throw out a couple of points about the impact that this would have on rec. And where it would hurt us in terms of being able to run kind of lucrative programs. And then if space was taken for an extended period of time, how that would impact summer programs and weekly, monthly programs. All the stuff that we do over at Sawyer Street for other outside organizations that aren't really program related, but the town relies on it as a spot for the 143 clothing exchange or open art studios or whatever it is. And just kind of let it be known, like, hey, if you choose to do this, it's gonna be a problem. And we just want you to know that this is, don't think that there aren't consequences to any of this stuff, because we totally get it. And I was sort of like, I wanted to be reasonable and be like, look, I understand that, everybody's gonna make sacrifices in a situation like this, where an entire, X number of people working in a town hall now are dispersed around the community in all these different spaces. I get it, it's not gonna be ideal, and we're all willing to do our part to sacrifice, but just understand that if we have to do that, all the successes we had last year with, the unbelievable extreme program, unbelievable playground program, the upstairs indoor rowing that goes on that people look forward to, or kids look forward to, all that stuff is, and the rec center, chief among them, right? That was like the biggest thing in the world 2 years ago. We had every selectman out there, town manager, this is unbelievable, this is great. Had a little bit of growing pains. We're now hitting our stride with the 5th and 6th graders. It's like off the charts. Having that, like the rug pulled up from under the map, the buses are getting going, is kind of like, well, great, now what do we do? So
Hey, Tim.
actually,
Hey, Tim, last summer I wrote a letter, a similar letter, maybe a little more emotional. When it looked like they were going to take the rec center during renovations of town hall. And I think you and Ted have a draft of that letter. If they come back to you and ask any questions, or you have another opportunity to write a second letter, feel free to use any of the ammunition or ideas in that letter for more that you could send to them. Just some more ideas. I'm concerned about the kids not having a place to congregate, and I'm concerned about their mental health and being able to connect with each other in a safe place. So just feel free to go after that letter.
And I totally agree with those, and I think, like you say, if there's an opportunity to if this becomes a discussion versus like yeah, okay, we'll take it under advisement. It becomes a discussion, then it can be like, listen, never mind what we just talked about in terms of revenues and not having space and having to put kids on wait lists and all that other stuff. Let's explore what's really happening to the kids, like you say, the mental health aspects, the ability to congregate outside of school kind of independently, and all the stuff that we as a rec commission, these are all the things that we exist for, right? Is to bring these things to fruition, and then to have it kind of sawed off like that is disappointing at the least.
Yeah. So I know it was a while ago I sent it to you, but if you want me to, so you may not have it anymore, but if you want me to
No, I
resend
have it. No, it's in here, Julie. There's no doubt it's in here.
Okay.
I throw nothing away.
All right, cool.
So that's that story on town hall and what, how it could possibly impact rec. And we'll see. Again, there's no definitive anything. So we don't really know. it's just the idea of like, well, if that's in your plans, just know that this will be the outcome, or this will be one of the outcomes. And like the scariest thing about it is if they were gonna take, because part of what happens over at Sawyer Street is a lot of the programs that run, like the dance program is an unbelievable, like the number of individuals that do dance is 151 people. Because it's not just kids, it's kids and adults. And they use the rec center and Sawyer Street to practice, and they all pay a membership fee to their organization, and they can pay us program fees and the whole thing, so it's, a lot of that money allows us to do a lot of other things, like, it's kind of hard to keep, on a day when, let's say if there's 15 kids down at the rec center for 3 hours, and they're whatever amount of electricity they're using, whatever amount of heat they're using, all these things where, well, if it was only gonna be, 3 kids, we'd shut it down, it's not worth it, or let's not do it. No, we don't wanna do that. We want it to be open, we want it to be going. Why can we do that? Because we have these other programs that allow us to kind of subsidize what goes on down there. And if they take the space at Sawyer Street, like a good portion of those programs go away. And so now it's like, all right, the rumor is that the rec center's gone, like they're hell bent on taking it, it's gonna happen, right, that's the rumor. But okay, that's fine, we can figure out a way, right, maybe the kids can't come every single day to Sawyer Street, downstairs Sawyer, because there's programs that are on like Monday, Tuesday, or whatever it might be. But the big thing that they have been doing down at the rec center was once a month, Ryan had been doing these first Fridays or whatever Fridays.
Fifth grade Fridays.
What are they called?
Fifth grade Fridays.
Fifth grade Fridays, exactly, and they were massively well attended. Kids loved it, fifth grade's kind of that thing, and we're pushing it for parents and doing the whole thing, and they could do fun stuff with basically there's 86 fifth graders signed up, 114 kids that are in class. 86 kids have memberships. So, long preface, that we could do these fifth grade Fridays at, Friday night at the first floor of Sawyer. And so that could get done, but it's not gonna be every afternoon from 3 to 6. That's not happening. When they take the risk, that's not gonna happen. And in dance, they're gonna have to shuffle their whole thing, because sometimes the X groups or X numbers of dancers would be already assigned to Sawyer and the rec center at the same time. The rec center's gone, now they might have to double up, or they might have to, I don't know, we'll have to cross the bridge.
Well, the good news is like Monday, Tuesdays, are not upstairs, so so they could do upstairs, downstairs, and Saturday mornings. At downtown, they could do that with us on Sawyer Street.
Yeah, because it's empty on Saturdays, yeah.
So
Yeah, so there's a way to make it work, and that's why I'm saying, it's like having to sacrifice, but also letting people know that this is a major sacrifice. This was 2 years ago, this was the pet project of the time, it was like a point of, and it's a point of pride, the way that it's come along. And what were they saying, what were the speeches, what were all the, we finally have a place for kids to hang out, this is what we wanted, this is what we've been pushing for. And 2 years later, it's like, oh, sorry, so. We'll figure it out, we'll have to, we'll figure it out.
Well, I think what happens in this town is they make those kind of threats, but people just ignore it, and saying, "Yeah, they'll never do this stuff." Because half the things they say they're gonna do, they never do in the first place, so. That's what makes it tough.
I mean, at the surface, it sounds like you're punishing kids for
Yeah.
Right.
missteps. of others.
Well, they think that's gonna work, so that mom and dad go vote.
Yeah, that's where Jack comes down, with the conspiracy theory, yeah.
That's
I'm
it.
not 100% sure.
I think Julia, and Roll Dave conspiracy. theory.
Yeah, so they know exactly how to do it, yeah, right.
So we on the agenda at 7:30, we invited, so Derek asked about.
Yeah.
There's nobody here yet. I know Derek, I think Captain Yacht Club is gonna try to chime in.
Okay.
I'm watching for him. I
Okay.
invited CSCR, CMI, sailing.
You-
So we'll see if anyone shows up.
Summer's gonna take a while, you wanna try to just knock out Thanksgiving, and we'll keep an eye as to see who
Yeah.
shows up.
Yep, so, well, if you want to do, but I think I can get buzz through summer real quick too.
Okay.
So after the minutes. I should have asked Julie, did Jenna give you a packet for tonight's meeting?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, good. So I do have the summer extreme schedule here. The most recent one I have here, we're making a couple little changes and working on a couple deals with a couple locations, but the 2024 summer extreme schedule, we're gonna do 8 weeks, we got the last week of June, and we're actually gonna do the last week after playground program is over, we'll vacate all the schools.
So last week of June.
Last week of June, yeah.
That's the week.
Since school gets out so early, you know, right now, June 11th, so we're gonna vacate, so we're gonna try to do that last week of June for playground and extreme. And then we're also gonna, when we vacate the schools on August 9th and 10th, we're gonna do an extreme week from Sawyer Street. Try to use the swim center and maybe walk down the harbor, and also go on these 2 field trips, so, we're gonna go 8 weeks for extreme next summer.
Wait, so that's the 8th week you're gonna do that?
Yeah, so that'll be at Sawyer Street, and like I said, we're gonna do swim center, the lessons will be over, swims will be over, so. We're gonna try to do a full day with them. Where they get to hang out in the pool all day or the bar and field and have a basketball tournament. Outside these 2 field trips. We always, the last day is a Thursday, we always try to have that as a cookout party, so maybe we'll do that up the hill here. So we got the schedule.
Nice job, Ted. Nice job. Thank you so much.
Next thing, we're also, you know, we have lost money with this program. I mean, we're not making money in this program. We made, I think, $899, and the bill from Situate for using their bus hasn't come in yet. So that'd probably be over 1,000, so we would have unofficially lost money again this year. So we are making we are doing a major increase here that I'm hoping you guys are okay with. I was trying to go up $5 to $10 a year, but we have 2 issues going on. Number one, the prices are skyrocketing for busing. Our Six Flags trip, which we expect to be full with 2 buses. The 2 coach buses this year are gonna cost me $4,000. It's the first time we've ever spent that much money. Now, we could go school bus, which a lot of towns do, but I'd rather not. I think if there's ever a traffic accident on the high Mass Pike, we've been stuck in traffic for 5 hours one time. And I sat at Six Flags waiting for them to show up, and they were behind a major accident, so thank God they were in a coach bus and not a school bus, so. And even like Treetop, which is not a very popular one, they just broke the $50 a kid rate to get in. I have reached out to them and told them that they have broke that barrier that nobody else has, so. But these field trips that used to be $15 to $25 per kid to get in are now averaging 30 to 40. So, you know, I'm asking for an increase, and also we have, as you probably saw, we originally were declined the use of the high school for this program, you know, because of some concerns that they had, which don't know if they were all there, but, you know, so we're getting porta potties. We're outside the school, we're getting nice flushable ones, so that for the girls, and, you know, a handicap one for the boys with the urinal. So they won't be so bad, but, you know, obviously that's an increase in cost that we weren't expecting, for next summer, so. Tim helped me with the letter that we sent to the principal, and he did okay the program with those conditions and staying out of school as much as possible, and, you know, so. Long story short, you know, that 195 rate, I think. Should handle all the extra cost and maybe make a little bit of money for the first time ever in this program. You know, I did, you know, just to let you know, I sent an email out to my colleagues that, you know, even the one that I started this in Hanover with Norwell, and we were the $99 program, giving out 2 shirts and a bag, which nobody did. Nobody still does gives anything out. Hingham is at $400 a week. Norwell, which is obviously a little bit cheaper than us, is up to $225. Same program, 4 days, 2 on field trips. Hanover is $350. So even at $195, we're still the least defer to. I know Jack gives me a hard time when I say cheap. The least expensive program and the best, I think. And we'll still give out a really nice penny, which has a reversible thing to it, which is great for when we go on field trips. You can have them flip up if they have to. So the 195, I think is, I think I reached out to some parents, and still, like I said, we're half of what some towns are charging for exactly what we're doing, and we're going on some very great field trips for the only. A lot of people have dropped the coach buses to Six Flags. I don't want to. I think it's a, I think it's a long ride, you know, for on a school bus, so. So I'm hoping you guys are okay with that, and we're gonna also, our goal is also, we lost a little bit of money last year because we did hit 96 kids every week. And, you know, some of the, maybe because of the field trip, so I am gonna reintroduce a non-resident rate, but it's gonna be 5 days after. I already see a typo here a little bit, registration is actually I think 111. This should be the Thursday, yeah, that should be, you know, 1/1 is, you know, January 11th at 7 PM. You know, which is always is the first full week of Thursday. And then on Monday, at 9 AM, 4 days later, if we have openings,
It's not the King Day, I don't know if it matters.
I think it's late this year.
It's not.
Okay, but it's, you know, it's just a non-resident, it's be a non-resident, so if anyone from out of town finds an opening, there might not, you know, any openings, but if they, Monday, January 15th at 9 AM. I mean, so, you know, hopefully we'll, like, if we fill, we make money, it's when we hit 75 and we have 2 buses and it just, you know, we lose a little bit of money, plus. Our goal this year is to have 8 solid staff all 8 weeks. So if we have a slow week, it right, never hits us the second time, so.
Is the rate the same for the?
I know, two time. So we charge a little bit more, we charge, yeah, $15 more for the non-residents, and, so I think, you know, I think it's a great schedule, I'm, you know, looking forward to this, you know, we're trying some new places, we actually put up a little poster at the rec center about a month ago, and they're the ones I wrote down, Top Golf.
Great.
And I drove up there, and, you know, I went up there and I'm actually helping the guy there negotiate with using me as a guinea pig, and then he's actually using our system for the other towns, so. And then, you know, yeah, Extreme Craze is a brand new one in Foxborough, level 99 in Natick. Ride Away is a kayak place down in Sandwich, which we went to a couple of years ago, which was really a big hit. So I think it's a great schedule. I'm hoping the kids look at the schedule and say, well, I want to go every single day or every single week. We will probably compete with Bo that last week of June with the same age group. So that'll be one interesting thing.
What?
Coach Bo, the boys basketball coach. And I try to also deal with, I know Lisa Pratt has a drama, so I try to make it so we don't have too many late trips on the week that she has her kids performance. I did reach out to her first. We had a great meeting, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I invited, was actually Sailing Club reached out to me about, they do their schedule based on our schedule. So when we do a Wednesday field trip, it totally messes up that, you know, they know we go field trip Tuesday, Thursday. So they do sailing Monday, Wednesday for the same group of kids. But we also invited CMI. John Marr was there for the swim team, the swim center. Kat Burns from Fair Oaks, she runs the swim team. You know, she was there. So it's just a great group of all of us together, talking about how do we get these kids to do everything. And or the other concern we have was how do we know these kids are getting from, you know, they leave us to go to sailing. Do we know they get to sailing? So we're actually looking into things like that about how to track the kids to make sure they get to the right spot. But yeah, no, just like I said, this is a schedule that, you know, there might be, if Treetop doesn't lower the price a little bit, I might have to drop that, but, you know, I think it's a fun schedule, you know, I don't know, Julie, if you've shown the kids, or actually your kids are too young still, right?
I haven't shown Olivia yet. She was busy after school. I haven't shown it to her yet, but I will. I think it looks great.
And the only typo, like I said, this should be January 11th, and not January 10th. We'll make sure we get that out. And this will be in the brochure. And the week of that week of January 11th, we'll be at the middle school lunch on Monday, January 8th, handing out this flyer. And then we'll be at the Dare Hill lunch on January 9th. And then we'll do registration at 7 o'clock. And the one new thing we promoted, which hopefully you might have saw the email, is that we're trying to we chase people for 6 months for the application, which includes us not knowing what size t-shirt, no medical information. So this year we're asking parents to do what we did for playground last year and fill out a registration form online first and add a photo. So we did a major email, I think it's Monday, I think I might have included you. So we'll follow up with people. I only got 6 so far, which I was hoping for a lot more, because usually they do them at first and then there's a big stall where all the way, but, anybody that you know that's, we'll send a blast to everyone that was in last year, except for the ninth grade saying, you can't register without, there won't even be a login.
Yeah.
There would be a required document, to have it filled out, and if they wait till 7 o'clock that day, it's an expensive form, it's asking, who they can go home with, emergency contacts, health insurance. And so they should not wait till the day up that 7 o'clock, because they'll never get into any week if they wait, because it's a quick 30 seconds that this program fills. So it's, 60 seconds, so. So that is my, I don't know if you're ready to vote, but I'm just, like I said, I think this will cover our cost. Especially with the increase in cost of everything and the use of the school too, so.
I make a motion, we accept as presented the summer extreme program.
Second. All those in
Any other
favor?
questions?
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the next thing on, like I said, I don't see anyone from Harbor still. We are working on the playground information and, we are, like I said, with Extreme, we're gonna try to go that last week of June. So the next page is sort of a draft I've done in the past, so it's sort of in my head, I want to see it. The one I talked about updating our budget a little bit, and we were $5 an hour for playground program and $6.50 for the high fives. In comparison to Situate and Hingham, which is like $8.66 and they went to $9, I think, per hour. Obviously, I don't want to do that. I always love the fact that we're $2.50 an hour, which was kind of crazy, but. So this will be a show of, this new rate. Will be based on those. I mean, it's one thing I didn't put on this little flyer for you guys is that. We are gonna try Monday, June 24th, as long as school gets out the 11th. You can always, by March, we'll know, so a month before we do registration. We should know if we've had a horrible winter between now and March and how many snow days and if this is gonna be an issue, but we can always just pull one day off. So the rate will always be based on, like, full day is $6 an hour. Times 6 hours, we just take $36 off and start Tuesday, June 25th. Ideally, we will take the 4th and the 5th off, which the staff will be really ecstatic about, because last year we made them work and then the day before the 4th, and then take the day off and then come back. This will give them a nice long weekend, so the staff will be happy. I think parents will be happy too, because last year we were kind of slow with that first week, but this will give us, this is 3 extra days, as long as the timing works out. And that's why you see 18 days there for the full day and 18 days for the high five for session 1. I did only, instead of going up $1 for the high fives from $6.50 to $7.50, I just went to $6.50 to $7. So there's a little added more cost for the high fives because their ratio is a little lower for the number of staff we have with them and an arts and crafts person specifically for that program. So it is a little more costly for the high fives, so that's the reason why we charge a little bit more per hour. So if everything goes well, then
Why do you make us do that? Can you just write down the number of hours that are gonna happen? 18 days.
Well, you might do
I have to
that.
refer back to 9 to 3, wait, can't do the math, 9 to 3, how many hours?
Well-
Hold on, times how many days? Okay, what?
Well, see, the reason why I don't want to do hours is because if we lose a day, it's a 17-day program.
Right.
Instead of, if we try to do hours, I've been worried people like, we can do either. This is just a draft, you guys.
Alright.
Like I said, I was just trying to explain it by day. I mean, like if we lose a whole day, instead of saying we're 6 hours less because we're not starting a Tuesday or, if we have more snow days, ideally, we get a full weekend. I didn't want to start midweek. I know, Julie, your thoughts, we might try to, it'd be nice to get extra days staff training, but we'll see how school goes first, so.
I don't even feel strongly about you putting in the number of days. I don't feel strongly about that. You could just put the amount.
Yeah, this is
to
more
consider.
for you guys. Yeah, like I said, this is more for you guys. This one page here, I wasn't even gonna make public. It was just sort of for you guys to see.
Oh,
Front, so, I mean, it's got all the details, all the rates. But I mean, if you Yeah, I mean, it's just, I thought by day is better because, I think people don't, the 6 hour day or a 4 hour day for high fives. It's more the number, could we lose a whole day? It wouldn't just be. Whatever you guys decide, doesn't make a difference. I wish,
Yeah, no, you just say, you say that session one is from.
This date to this date.
Yeah.
Monday, June 24th to Friday, July 19th.
Yep.
And when you go there, you realize that, oh, it's 6 hours, so it's 9 to 3 every day.
Yep.
Boom, and then it's, you
Right.
don't have to worry about hours, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
yeah, okay,
It's just, and it's not, they don't care about days, they care about these weeks.
Yep.
And then same thing with session two. The fact that
Agreed.
it's 3 days less, it's like.
Okay.
We knew that it was 3 weeks, 5 times 3 is 15. We kind of knew that it was 6 weeks total, so 5 times 3, we just set 3 at the beginning, so be it. You're gonna pay for it.
um. I guess I probably should take a vote on this one, because this is, between the 6.5,
You gotta do that,
so.
yeah, can you move that thing? I'll move it. All right, so motion to increase the playground and high five rates to session one respectively 648 and 504, and session two respectively 540 and 420.
Second,
All those in favor?
aye,
So. So the next step would be based on those rates, set in here, Now, this, the bigger sheet that you have in front of you is a budget I planned out. And it is stepping into that pay scale that I showed you last month, or 2 months ago, actually. So I did a budget for the entire summer. Now, this doesn't include those 3 extra days right now, but if you look at the second to last column, it shows the number of weeks for these positions. So the counselors are listed for 7 weeks, which is just right, because, the staff training will be hopefully a day or two, and then that'll balance out, it'll be 7 full weeks. But it's a good, we're pretty much spot on all when we do this, so this doesn't show the extended session one, but it shows the numbers, so we get, aiming for 70 kids at the odds group with the high fives. The blue group, which is in our office, is 80, and 250 up at Deer Hill, which actually we extended to almost to 275, I think, last year. I talked to Tim, and part of that email that you saw that was sent to Chris Senior, Michelle, was showing a breakdown of what would happen if we lost our second floor. Just the second floor, and I did some numbers, I ran, okay, well, if we lost the second floor, we obviously can't bring 80 kids in there, it's all down the first floor. And then, so I probably flip the program, bring the high fives back to our office, where we take, about 48 of them. And then the kids, the bigger group would go to back to the odds good, but we compete with Mr. Dicus in summer school. That'd be a drop of, 20, 25 kids, and then we took more kids at Deer Hill because we knew the odds was open in the afternoons for us. So I had to reduce that number, so that 80 to 105 that Tim mentioned in the letter is an accurate number if we lost our second floor. And that would be, we list of kids, last year we didn't take it, we actually got everybody that sort of signed up, so. That was just some numbers to show you that, Tim sent it to them, and next year, 2025, we have the COVID, crush of 99 5-year-olds, which is 30 more than usual. Usually this town has 68 births a year, and 2020 there was 99, so they're coming. So that number of 80 to 105 would be close to 150 kids on a wait list in 2 years, so,
Is that like 68 a year? Is that like that?
68 is the average, yeah, and that, 68, 69, and we had 99 in 2020 official. So it's a 30 plus of 30, so the school sizes are gonna jump.
I contributed to
So I did a budget, I mean, it's, this budget's similar to, previous years, what we did. I think there's a question about the radios that insurance did not cover, so, we have a margin here that's safe, and then we have the radios, which we might need to buy new ones, we're still in negotiations with that. So that's, we lost some because of the flood that we had in April. And we also have ones that are 10, 15 years old, so, our goal is always have the council that have kids, they should have a radio. So we might need to buy some new radios. There are some in order, but insurance, this is insurance issue with those, so, we'll work on those details, but I put in the budget just in case. But, this is your typical budget we always do. Last year we had 828 kids, so that shows the number that I took more for Deer Hill. So this is a budget with 800 children total, but if we did it by group, like if we knew we had the red group kids, the last group, they don't come every day. So we always take a little bit more, we take 15 to a group, so 12 there. Our goal is to get everybody in. So if you lost the second floor, that wouldn't be the case, but so hopefully we get both floors and Deer Hill and Osgood all set. Any questions about this, or?
Well, I have a comment. Why is it we always hurt kids when we make a decision in this town? So let's just tell them they can come here and use this facility and leave us alone.
They're
Well, we get enough people there, we will.
no, they're gonna take this place. In addition to the other places.
Well.
Tim, do you know if they've looked at the water treatment plant as well? There might be free office space in there.
And again, I don't have any
Workstation kind of a deal?
data on it.
Yeah, I didn't know if anyone had mentioned that.
Information on it, but I do know that the sniffing around was at, town spaces. So I would assume that was part of it because that is a town space.
The
Yeah,
boutiques
I hope so.
That's, actually, they could use it from 8 till 10 while it's closed.
And then from 2 to,
Yeah,
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
close it at 3:30, right? They could use it 3:30 to 5. Exactly. For me. Yeah, please.
it's a nice open air space.
Really is.
So this budget does, like I said, last, 2 months ago, this budget does put these kids into a seasonal pay scale the town has. And it gives them, it takes them from, it takes the kids from 15 to 16, 20, which, the 15-year-olds, so. It's a nice little bump. It takes the counselors, this is actually a mid-range, I think, right here, 1781. 1763 is a low one. It gets this first year kid from 1625 up to 1763, 1781, and it's a long pay scale, long row. So if you have a staff person who's been with us for 3 or 4 years, or I'm also looking at their lifeguard eligible, thinking about putting the difference, we maybe can move them to a different level, staff inside that level. So it does provide a nice cushion, a nice way to get more staff and better staff. And keep them for, our goal always is to have them all work orientation then all 7 weeks, because that, so that'll be the plan is. We won't eliminate that clause where the application will say, June, staff training on June 22nd, session 1, 7 weeks, session 2, but session 1, 4, it's 4 weeks, session 2, 3. Preference given to those who can do all 7. But they can do session 1 or session 2. Hopefully they'll balance it out right, because 5 counselors that do session 1 and 5 counselors that balance 1 session 2, so. So I think, I think it's, improve the program, get better, will be in a better way to compete with, the people we're meeting with 2 weeks ago. I know they're not happy with this, because they see them lose, they might be losing staff to us. So, which I'm okay.
Okay, motion to approve this presentation.
Sarah, you approved it.
Well, it's the budget, yeah, we want to approve the budget, that'd be great.
Oh, we have to approve the budget?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind,
Why
I
did we
think,
do that?
Yeah.
yeah, I would like
Is it the
to,
same scale from last year?
no, this is a new pay. This is based on a new pay scale and a new budget for the program, so every year we do a budget for this program.
We didn't do that last year. I mean, we didn't do. Didn't we approve like the next 3, the bumps? Didn't we approve like the bumps?
Last year was the last step,
So
so this is after I get the new pay scale.
Yeah, so we have to vote. Need a second?
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The last, well, there's a couple things here, but just for fun, I reached out to the school, and asked for their student population. Private school, homeschooled, and I like doing this every once in a while to see. How we compare, I know that's a lot of numbers here, but the, it shows the total population for the school, 1411. How many kids in private school, how many kids are homeschooled? It shows like sort of our percentage of how many kids we have.
have you compared this year to previous years and noticed any trends?
I mean, so I mean, I guess the cool number that I see is that
13.
You know,
Years.
2/3 of all the kids K through 12 are go to our program. That's unheard of for most towns. Um,
9, 10, like that.
So- I mean, the total number, you know, so over half. I mean, you look at the numbers, the 83, 84% of the kids K through 5. I didn't count the preschool because they're obviously not all counted here. So, but, you know, we have 83% of the kids K through 5. It's interesting that we have 84% of the kids in middle school, which is high, you know, it's, you know, but this also includes basketball, you know, which are in our volunteers, our staff.
These are.
So, yeah, I just want to show you guys, if there's any questions, I know there's a lot of numbers in here, but, what our totals are per grade. So 943 out of 1,674 total.
We got screwed there, we got screwed there. Run day up.
You guys have any questions about that population thing?
No, it's super cool. I cited it in my email.
So Thanksgiving, you know, you guys are mostly there, you know, so it went very well. This is like a couple of little things here. We got the press release, which doesn't really go well because there's no, I don't know who would write it. The Cohasset Acres were great. I mean, they did a couple stories for us. They did an end of the race story for, so these are the numbers. There's a little bit of, I know we said 1,002. And Sarah left the office today, but I couldn't figure out why this is 990 here. So I gotta find out where
I'm sticking with.
we're missing 12 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,002. So, but these are based on, she did go through all these, you know, so the stats up top here is based on 990, but it's, you know, like I said, we're missing 12 here, but you know, there's the males and female, how many kids ran, you know, the different states. It's actually, I think most states are had represented.
21.
We do ask,
Alaska.
yeah, we do ask people if they're registering for a family coming to town. On the checkout page, you probably see it. If they have someone, if they're coming from just for Thanksgiving, we want them to say where they're coming from.
Yeah.
You know, so we actually have people, you know, which is cool, British Columbia, Ireland, Taiwan, London, and Barbados, actually listed as their home residents, which is pretty cool. Obviously coming for Thanksgiving. I think we had the most towns to represent this year too. Very few towns. I gotta have Sarah go through all my old reports and. I also want her to go through all my reports to see if we've hit every state out of curiosity. But you know, we had a record time, you know, we figured out. It took us 3.5 minutes to get everybody across the starting line. And Joe Carroll was in within 15 minutes. So there's only like a 11.5 minute gap where got everybody off, and all of a sudden we were getting reports from the cruiser that he was already on Sandy Beach coming out right at us. And when that first cruiser came in with Joe, no relation behind him, he was coming in so fast, we thought there was an emergency. We're like, we're all clear on the road, because the cruiser was trying to keep up with Joe behind him. Record time too, you know, yeah, I think he had a pace of 5:06. And I think the most impressive thing was our turkey, we finished in third place in full outfit. When we look, you know, when we look at the photos though, the one thing we still need to work on is our shoots. We just need more staff. We need more people there to help get people. Cause when we look at the photos from the start, there's a lot of children that shouldn't be right there. And there were a lot of, these three were right in front. So they had the edge right at the bat. They're obviously the fastest runs we have. But we did have some of the, we just gotta find a way. I mean, I've been thinking about, unfortunately, 12 of the top runners registered the day out. So we can't, I have these low number bibs that you can see, you know, 2 of the 3, only Ben Ford got number 2. But the other 2 signed up the day of, so they just were in the rush of pre-race. But ideally, I want these, I'm gonna try to send an email out to all these runners, these elite runners, and we know who they are. And say, just let me know, because I want to save them 1 through 20. I want them to have the good numbers.
Yeah,
I hate to see them go to waste. We actually wasted 12 numbers between 1 and 14, because we only gave out 2 and 10. 10 was Charlie Lacco, who's our, you know, I asked him what number he wanted number 10, he was one of the top runners too, so. We just have to work on our shoots, it's a little dangerous, you know, that I just think we have to push the dogs back, we gotta push the strollers back. Yeah, I can show you the photos, there's a lot of, we had 1 kid fall, 2 kids fall, 1 kid fell at the
Yeah,
beginning. And then we had to get him up real quick before he got trampled, 1 kid fell in front of me. We put signs everywhere on Highland Ave saying no parking, no parking. And at 4:30 in the morning, I see 2 cars parked on Highland Ave, and I don't know if you saw them, but I had to stand in front of the one that didn't move. And just make sure no one ran into it, and they were, by that point, people were starting to spread, and I was actually at one point was pushing people, not to hit the car. I will try to notify those people. I'd hope the police would knock on the door and say, move, and the second car was actually belonged to somebody that ran the race. And thankfully they moved, because it was a dark spot, people would have been running right into the cars. You know, so I am meeting with the police department on Friday to talk about the police department in a nice way. We did have a few runners run past Beach Street and go towards the yacht club, including the last guy, actually went, the last walker. Well, he wasn't supposed to be the last walker, the 2 guys, 1 fish, we thought we were done at 59. A husband and wife with a stroller, actually slowed down a little bit, actually pushed them to get past before the 1 minute mark, 1 hour mark, and also we start packing up and some guy starts walking at 1:05. And he was looking for his brother-in-law walked to, nobody was, when he was at the Beach Street, nobody was there, so he kept on walking. And then at the yacht club and turned around. And finished behind his brother-in-law, who he was trying to pay, so we just gotta do a better job with the, we need a cruiser, we need a cop at Beach Street. That's the one thing that's lacking, so, that's it, we wanna make this race better, we always do. I think the start went up pretty well, it's kind of cool with Ron and the kid Ned Farrington. You know, fastest guy, you know, when, I don't know if he's supposed to compete for the national championship this month, I don't know how he did. But it's kind of cool that he set off the siren, he wasn't allowed to run. His college coach said no, and then he's a Cohasset Rec running club. It started with us in kindergarten, now he's a national champion of the national championship.
What's his name?
Ned Farrington.
Ned Farrington, I share with Tim, actually, some guy from Strava, Dave Dugan, actually posted a pre-race. How would you call that, Tim? Prediction?
Handicapping, the handicappers, the racing form, that's what it was a racing form for the race, who stood to excel and why, and he had little tidbits on each one of them, and you know, this guy's been running all fall for, Ben Ford has been running all fall for Harvard, and he's really improved his game since August, and he's a dark horse candidate to finish first.
But yeah, it was pretty cool that, you know, there was, you know, Ron Ford's shared that with us, that, you know, it was picked up, and that means we're going big time with our race. We get the elite runners, so.
One of the things that came up this year is that people were questioning why the Park Chatterton Fund is involved in this. So we did a little study over the last just 15 years. And we've given $43,500 in scholarships to kids from Cohasset.
I think it's more money, Jack. I think it's over 50.
Yeah,
Well,
I think you're more money.
that's just part of it. I mean, we did more before that.
Yeah.
I didn't go back that.
actually, after this report, there's actually the updated budget sheet that I do every year for the race. And I forgot to check the temperature when the race started, but I'm pretty sure it was 40. It was close.
Yeah. I'll call him for you.
But we, you know, I got to double check the numbers here, but you know, it shows what we made. So we broke the 30 mark, 31, but, you know, we do have, you know, those little medals.
We get screwed with the medals.
Yeah, the medals cost us $219 a piece, and we had to order 1,000 because we had to expect 1,000. We didn't, you know, it's funny, we just have 600 left over. So we don't need to buy as many next year. And we had a little more staffing this year.
That's not out to kids.
That was the plan, but the adults want them.
They do?
Can I get my 10 that I haven't
Yeah.
been over the last 10 years? Can you hand me 10 of those 600?
If
please?
you can help us, I mean, I guess the way, if we could find a way of just, it's funny, the adults even,
How about on the thing? Every child finisher receives a medal.
I would be okay with that.
And then instead of having like Taylor Soderbergh hand them out and like, you know, kind of be like, have Jenna hand them out and be like, get out of here. You're not, what are you, 48? Get out of here.
I mean, the other thing too is, do we break the, I mean, one of the things that we tried to concentrate this year was getting people away from it was the medical, you know, obviously it was mentioned by our medical team last year, that's just too many people, we gotta get these people away in case someone goes down, there's just too many people clustered at the end.
Yeah.
So our goal was always to push people out of the way by the Christmas tree. And maybe we can look at, okay, the kids go this way, and the medals are there, and the adults go.
Have the medals near the, like, on the common, like, near the Christmas tree, just a stand or a tent.
The thing about this,
The kids
Yeah,
have to go over
that's-
there, like, it'll get everybody.
we, you know, I know, we're approved, we got the little, Vinnie Fontaine made some stands for us, for first, second, third. They came in here, we'll paint them this year.
My only two comments would be, one, I think we should get a new chip vendor, because apparently Julia Bernica beat me by 1 second. There's a
It sounds like
flaw.
there's an issue there.
It sounds like there's a flaw in the chips. I will say the long sleeve shirt has become one of my new favorite
Good.
shirts, like that's I don't know if we ever can upgrade, or I wouldn't call it an upgrade, but make a change there on the shirts for race day. I think people would love them.
I forget, Tim, I know I think I shared with you the quote, I forget what it was, it's like a couple dollars more,
Yeah.
for sure.
Not much, though. It's
Yeah.
not like $10 more.
Well, let's see, we got 24 for 264.
Yeah.
So
So
they're
$10
about-
each,
yeah,
10,
and
75.
we got, you see, we got,
So let's do that math. That's 75 on 1,000.
what's,
Pump the
Let's-
medals and do long sleeve
10,000.
shirts.
Hold on a second. Thanks, you're right. Let's do this math.
who wants to do the math on 5890 divided by 780? We got 780, short sleeve shirt, 5890.
Short sleevers, we got 780. That cost us 5890. 5890.
Divided by 780. I should know this, but
755 a shirt. And you did
24 shirts at 264, so that's over 10. For the next one.
in the
I
back.
have a white one.
Oh,
Right, yellow.
That's $11.
That should go back.
is that the one he likes?
That's 11.
They're nice shirts. I like it.
Alright. Solid, I'll take it.
I mean, the key is sponsorship. If we can, you know, we agree.
I'm sorry, we can't do that. It's 46% increase.
I think we looked at that. I think you said that when we saw it. Unless we get
Unless you
sponsorship.
buy them in bulk. If you're 24, they're $11. You buy 780 of them, they're $7. Great, we're a business.
I mean, we got, you know, National
Sure it
Grid,
is. Like,
National Grid gave us 1,000. Maybe I can ask them for more.
what's the name of the tutoring company on the back? Maybe we can
Hit
hit
those
that
guys,
for.
hit that guy up.
And then, you know, from our meeting 2 months ago, that Sunbelt connection, Tim, that was the best thing ever.
Yeah, that helps.
Having
We had-
signs. up
Well,
there,
if we had to rely on the town, they would have done it, Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And we've been there for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, all right, hold on.
I mean, I just hope they would count on that every year. We gave him a nice, put him in the shirt too, and. So I mean, that was key. I mean, our goal is to get more Situate Hall runners, and whole thing was just that you run on the beach and they forgot about high tide. Last year and this year it was dangerously close, so. We hope they get those. I have to look at how many Hall Situate runners we had. But no, I mean, so right now, I mean, Tim, I don't know what you want to do. We committed to 7, and it did show up in the report, but. We made, so. Here, for Jackie, you got 57,000. Has gone to the Chatham Fund after we made give you guys the, your share there. It'll be up to 57, we've given to the Chatham Fund, so. Our share is 6,900 too. But we have reserves.
Yeah.
And we did say we had 1,200.
Yeah, we said we committed, our thing was the vote we did a couple months ago was that if we hit 1,000 runners, the $7,000 donation to the Beechwood Playgrounds. 1,000 runners. So we got 1,000 runners, so I moved that we make a $7,000 donation to the Beechwood Playgrounds.
Second,
All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
I just got the last bill for the fire department, which is actually already in here anyways, 672, so we can start after the new year, setting them up. Yeah, so other than that, just any input on the race or? I think we're gonna work on signage,
Great.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a great one.
the weather, I mean, you can't be the
The
weather,
weather was great. People loved it. Good crowd.
yeah.
All right, very good.
And then
How about the harbor, anything to tell us, Derek? I mean, I know we were gonna talk with these people, but they didn't show, but let's like morph into your report. What were their, what was their focus? They basically wanted our input on what they should be looking at around the harbor.
Yeah, I think we're one small, I don't mean small, still one substantial aspect of what they're looking at. It basically, they're looking to get more strategic with, their advisory function for what takes place in the harbor, the committee is. And, what aspect of that is putting together and actually polling, which hasn't been done. Everybody who has an interest in what happens on the harbor by survey. And so they asked if we would consider, or at least put any thought into any questions we might want to add to the survey. And then also contribute any of these mailing lists and help make it spread it far and wide. Again, that's an after the fact function.
Sure, yeah.
So it's really just, we have some fingers on what happens in the harbor. And so anything that we might consider could be impacted for the better or worse with anything taking place down the harbor, down the waterfront.
My input was better spots for fishing.
Yeah.
Quite following them, by the rocks.
Maybe that's, I mean, people have things to say about that now, throw them out there. Maybe that's something that we kind of mull over to bring that back in January. As an official thing, because. You think would that work timing wise? Do they need to know?
I think so. I think it's gonna take a couple months to really pull this together and hash it out. I'd probably rather see it move quicker, but in all reality, asking a bunch of various different groups for their input. And there's a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
For what could happen down on the waterfront. And there's a lot of stuff already happening right now that has major implications for what is happening. I mean, parking's become a major issue, right? Down on the waterfront and.
We know it too, we run.
Yeah.
Focus.
So, I mean, that's one of the things, right? So that could be a recreation thing as well. We want to know more about parking and I did plans for parking. I mean, what's gonna happen beyond the development down there to maintain the harbor walk? So things like that, and really that's what the committee's looking for.
All right, any open space, John?
Well, I don't wanna make you guys jealous, but the harbor people came to our meeting. And it's exactly.
That's good. Just being good neighbors, good, sort of getting out, sort of, being sure everybody's sure in front.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, just a lot of the same stuff, the plastic water bottle thing that, Adam is working towards. And, navigating all the challenges that come with something like that. There were some. Yeah, friends from the Harvard plastic water bottle band, and they're just, working with, this is Chad Buckley, right, and just getting some students involved, redoing some trail maps and things like that. That was most of it, then. So the usual, we try to find out what's in the tree fund, and we find out that there's $50,000 in the tree fund, and it takes $50,000 to get rid of all the trees that fall down, and there's not actually any money. Invested in actually planting new trees, and usually there's a headline like that or two that to bring into the meeting, but that's about it. That's what they leave it. To get people to show up. So we have $50,000 budget and the budget to
Budget is
remove all the
empty.
trees that fall is exactly $50,000. We plant no trees.
Is that-
Allison had a CPAC meeting tonight, so she, I think that's where she was.
I'm sorry, just to go back, does the DPW take money out of the tree fund for trees?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I think so, because whenever we've had trees, they do the tree shake hearing. I mean, we had a giant, when we first moved to Sawyer Street. There was a tree in the corner, we fence and realized the other half was all gone. And $5,000, that was the budget for the entire year. Otherwise, it was gonna come down the playground at some point. They told me I just wasted their entire tree budget. Take a tree down, that we we're pretty sure it was gonna come down. There's a lot in the backside facing the train, so.
But they don't have a fund on their own that says, hey, we're gonna have deal trees, it's like, we got a tree fund, we're taking money out of
They
that.
do.
That's where.
Yeah, I guess, like I said, that it was 5 and they had to get the crane left to go over the playground to get that monster down. So I don't know if they increased it or not, but
And now I feel bad about the tree that got struck by lightning, in the tennis courts.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Good work.
the world of open space.
Love it. Julie, you have anything on sidewalks?
Yeah, I'm pleased to say that at town meeting, the stabilization fund passed for roadways and sidewalks. So that's really great news for the town. It gives us an additional $800,000 a year to put towards construction of new sidewalks, repairing old sidewalks, repaving roads that really need it. So over the next several months, our group will be meeting not weekly anymore, probably every other week, to begin prioritizing or finish prioritizing which streets should be repaved and sidewalks fixed in 2024, 2025, and 2026. And so that's the update.
a couple of, so new brochure. Megan, the librarian was asking about joining forces and doing a big program guide, but we're under negotiations and we realized we can't do an April one together. It's just, our timing is right. We might try to do the Labor Day one.
Timing's off and it would get lost.
Yeah, so this is the new, we're gonna follow the library style a little bit. This is the new one that's going out to the printer. A little more colorful. It's got a lot of, if you want to take a look at it, it's got all the programs in
So
it.
Nice new look.
you're gonna edit that though. The page on playground.
Yes, yeah. And then some new programs here, the CMI schedules here. When you talk about Jack Buckley, we're actually bringing back the pre-COVID, how to get ready for an interview. And he's also on March 3rd, actually March 10th on here, but he's doing a program about how to use your job with us or anywhere to build up your resume / LinkedIn for the older kids, to work on that. The one thing I should mention is the rec fair, and it is gonna be it's gonna be the farmer's market back. Board of Health is coming back. We're gonna have the clothing exchange, a youth sports sale, facility stickers. We're gonna be packed.
Last year was great.
Yeah, but this will be, I don't know how we're gonna fit everybody. So we're not gonna be chasing people. We're gonna have an early deadline by February, but I'm thinking open space, they should we wanna make sure we take care of the people, like harbor committee should be there. There and just having a table, asking people, the 1,000, hopefully get 1,500 people there.
Right.
And then open space always at the table for whatever project they're working on, but we can be a little picky, we're not gonna chase people this year. And, we're gonna try to raise the fee a little bit, just $40, try to get the money to stop. Usually we just, we won't charge the town groups,
Right.
but it just. Space is gonna be tight. Hope it's a beautiful day, we can use the courtyard. We're gonna try to line that front driveway with as many farmers market vendors outside. Maybe get the game truck for the kids to play at, but it's gonna be fun. I mean, it's gonna be packed. Trying to squeeze everybody in for that date, but something just to keep you guys in mind, the March 24, 24.
Would be packed if health didn't come.
Is that?
Said it wouldn't be packed if health didn't come.
Yes. So March 24, 24.
Had sale. It's told.
No, so Michaela Dickerton, this regional health nurse, who's also our staff member, is taking over all the health pieces. Has reached out to everybody, so. So that was, I just want to make sure I mentioned that over here. I think that's all I have.
All right, anybody else have anything to say, anything not anticipated or anything for adjournment? All right, all those in favor of
Motion to adjourn.
calling it, motion to adjourn has been made, seconded by John. All those in favor, signify by leaving. I do have to.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Happy holidays,
Thanks, Lisa.
everybody.
Yeah, I had my cannoli, it was great.